Right. Let's get to this. It's 2026. Your rent went up again. Your job is being quietly replaced by a chatbot that can't spell your name correctly, but apparently that doesn't matter anymore. The housing market looks like a hostage situation with no negotiator. And somewhere, a 22-year-old on social media is telling you that you just need to optimize your morning routine. You know what I say to that? Nope. Piss off. I say that because I have lived a little, I went to school before the internet existed. I remember when a job for life was a reasonable ambition and not a punchline, and frankly, I have earned the right to feel slightly hostile about all of this. But here's the thing. Here's why you're watching this video instead of doom scrolling into oblivion at 11 at night. There's a film, made in 1997, about a boy from a rough part of Boston who was smarter than everyone in the room and determined to make sure nobody ever knew it. And it has absolutely no frigging business being this relevant right now. Good Will Hunting, winner of 2 Oscars, and career-launching performances from Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, who, to their credit, actually wrote the movie, and Robin Williams at his absolute quietest and his best. If you haven't seen it, here's the story. Will Hunting is a 20-year-old janitor at MIT. He's cleaning the corridors of one of the most prestigious universities on the planet, and in his spare time, he's solving the unsolvable maths problems that the professors leave on the blackboards as challenges for their students. He does that for fun. Like some people do crosswords, that kind of fun. He's brilliant. Genuinely, staggeringly brilliant. He reads everything, remembers everything, and absolutely, categorically refuses to do anything with any of it. Because here's the thing about Will. He grew up hard. Foster care, abuse, South Boston, no safety net, no connections, no one in his corner. And the conclusion he has drawn from all of that, very logically, very reasonably, is that the world cannot be trusted. People cannot be trusted. And if you never try, you can never fail, and you can never be abandoned, and you can never get hurt. Sound familiar? Because I don't know about you, but I have met this man. I have been this man. Not the genius bit, sadly. But the walls, oh, the walls I recognize. The world has not improved. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The film came out in 1997. I was listening to Oasis. Mobile phones were the size of a brick, and people thought that was impressive. The economy was fine. Tony Blair had just been elected on what appeared to be genuine optimism, and the future felt broadly like it was pointing in the right direction. Cut to now. The gap between where you start in life and where you're allowed to end up has gotten wider, not narrower. Talented people are still being left behind because of their postcode, their background, their accent, their complete inability to pretend they went to the right school. The advice being handed out, and I include the motivational content, the hustle culture, the LinkedIn posts about embracing discomfort, all of it comes with this very quiet, very sinister assumption baked in. If you're not reaching your potential, that is your fault, not the system. Not the odds. You, personally, get better at your morning routine and maybe try journaling. Will Hunting understood this instinctively, which is why when he gets offered a government job, a top, prestigious, presumably well-paid government job, he tells them where to go. And everyone around him thinks he's self-destructing. His professor is horrified, but his therapist, Sean, played by Robin Williams, Sean gets it. Because Sean grew up in the same streets. Sean knows that the job isn't the point. The job is just someone else's definition of what a wasted life looks like. The real question is, do you trust yourself enough to try at something that matters to you, knowing you might fail? And in 2026, that question is absolutely everywhere. Do you retrain for a job that might be automated before you finish the course? Do you start the business, move to the city, leave the city, risk the relationship? Stop pretending you're fine? Terrifying. All of it. Completely terrifying. Which brings us to why we don't. The walls we build. Will doesn't refuse life because he's lazy or ungrateful or doesn't care. He refuses it because he's smart. He has done the risk assessment, and the risk assessment says, don't bother. You will get hurt. You will be left. Everyone leaves. Better to blow up the situation first. Better to be the one who walks away. Better to use that extraordinary brain of his as a weapon to push people away before they get close enough to do any damage. His therapist sees this immediately, and crucially doesn't try to argue him out of it. Doesn't come in with a PowerPoint presentation on the benefits of vulnerability. Just sits with him. Refuses to be pushed away. Refuses to give up. There's a scene, if you've seen the film, you know the one, where Sean just keeps telling Will something he has never once heard. It's not your fault. And Will laughs it off, deflects, gets sarcastic, tries to turn it into a joke, which, again, very relatable. And Sean just keeps saying it. It's not your fault. Until Will stops. Until something shifts. Until he finally, just cries. And I will tell you now, as a person who was brought up to believe that emotions were essentially a design flaw, that scene gets me every time. Every single time. Because it's not about the maths. It was never about the maths. It's about a person who had every reason to believe the world didn't want him, learning, slowly, painfully, reluctantly, that he was wrong. What do we take from the movie? So, what does a film from 1997 about a fictional genius from Boston have to say to us now, in the middle of all this crap we face? It screams out three things. First, your background is not your ceiling. It feels like it is at times. The statistics may even suggest that it is. But where you start is not where you have to end up. Will's entire arc is a refusal of that particular piece of received wisdom, and it is still radical when you watch it to this day. Secondly, the independence thing is a lie. We are sold this idea constantly. Pull yourself up, you don't need anyone, be self-sufficient, don't show weakness, and yes, sure, agency matters. But Will was most terrified of being truly known, and then found wanting. In a world that applauds going it alone, his story is a reminder that actual change, actual movement, happens because someone refused to let you disappear. Find your Sean, and if you have one, for the love of God, friggin' let them in. Lastly, you don't need certainty. You just need to stop protecting yourself from your own life. In the end, Will doesn't drive off to California because he's worked it all out. He doesn't have a 5-year plan. He doesn't know if Skylar, his true love, will take him back. He goes because staying stuck in the same corner, with the same walls, doing the same nothingness, with the extraordinary magical skill that he has, staying put, is no longer an option he can live with. That's it. That's the whole film. And frankly, that's life, the kicker. Sean tells Will, "You'll have bad times, but it'll always wake you up to the good stuff you weren't paying attention to." In 2026, we have been awake to the bad stuff for quite some time now. It's loud, it's relentless. And the instinct, my instinct every single day, is to make yourself smaller, to protect yourself, to be very, very clever about all the reasons why it won't work out. Good Will Hunting says, yes, the world is hard. Yes, you had every right to build those walls. Yes, the fear is rational. And also, the walls are the problem. It's not your fault that life is difficult right now. But what you do next, that part is yours. Don't friggin' waste it being brilliant at doing nothing. Do something, before it is too late.